Harry Truman, Doris Day. Red China, Johnny Ray. We Didn't Start the Fire has been a prolific song for years, for both history teachers and history enthusiasts. And from when I was young, when I first heard the song, I wondered if there'd ever be a sequel. And lo and behold, last week, our prayers were answered by Fall Out Boy? Now, I wasn't completely jaded like I know some were when I heard that they'd be doing it. I know many were wondering how this band could even consider trying to follow up with Joel's original. But for me, I never saw Joel doing a follow-up, so it makes more sense that a more modern band might want to take it on. But when I listened to the new 2023 version, I have to say, I was quite disappointed. The main complaint that many give about the new song is that the events aren't in order. And that is a problem and a large part of the issue with this version. But it's more than that. The way that Fall Out Boy writes this song rails against the major conceit of the song itself. When Billy Joel wrote this song back in 1989, he was talking to someone who said it was hard to grow up nowadays with everything going on. Joel said that, no, it's hard in every era, and started telling this person about events that were going on while he was growing up. As he did, Joel realized that most of these events were buried in history because the person he was talking to didn't know half the stuff he was talking about. Thus, We Didn't Start the Fire was born. So yes, when this song was created, there was an educational intention behind it. Because the song goes in order from the 50s to Joel's present, it builds upon itself. Major events, both good and bad, play out like images on a TV screen. We see them like this because proper nouns are used. In other words, specific names of places or people. This makes it easy for us to place them. And if we don't know who they are, look them up. For example, Harry Truman, Doris Day, Einstein, James Dean. But when it's more general, Joel gives us a statement so we know what he's referencing, such as Brooklyn's got a winning team, or Edsel is a no-go. And yes, these are historical statements that were used at the time in a specific context, so they become easy for us to later find out what he's talking about. Thus again, cementing this idea of allowing those that listen to learn from past generations, preserving their history. Comparatively, in Fall Out Boy's 2023 version, we get lines like this: Captain Planet, Arab Spring, LA Riots, Rodney King. All right, good so far. We can place these easily. But then we have deep fakes, earthquakes, Iceland volcano. See how the last couple become more and more vague? What earthquakes are we looking up? Why don't we name the Iceland volcano? But alright, maybe a cheap shot. It gets deeper than that. In Fall Out Boy's version of the song, there's also a fascination when talking about when old historic figures die, making sure to mention Prince, Michael Jackson, and the Queen of England. Although these figures are relevant, the only one specific figure we see referenced passing in Billy Joel's is the JFK assassination, which understandably was a light bulb event for the century. When JFK died, and especially the context in which he did, it made a major historical event in which the context affected a lot of the world. Michael Jackson was an important figure for the music industry, and his death was shocking, but it wasn't completely unexpected. Drug misuse is common in musicians, and although his death was a little off, its impact was not the same. Thus, the only reason I can surmise to mention these events is in a sensational nature. Without strong decade placement by ordering the song correctly, strong imagery that encourages the listener to look up events, or choosing events that don't define the era, the song ends up missing the entire point. And the point is this: We Didn't Start the Fire is a song that illustrates the eras to pique interest and challenge one to look up the events categorized. And we know this from looking back at the way that the song originated in the first place. So when the song doesn't even place the listener correctly in the timeline, or chooses to be sensational over educational, or doesn't even mention tentpole events like COVID, what are we supposed to think about the song? I understand that it could be hard to write a song like this, but if you're not ready to take on the work it requires, don't take it on. Doing so like this reeks of a cash grab, or fighting for relevance in an industry that is seeking headlineable events. There are many artists here that could have done a sequel, but for any artist, including Fall Out Boy, to do so while missing the original intent is not only disappointing, it's a bit disrespectful. Regardless of how long this song took, it feels thrown together. And because of that, it's hard for me to stomach. That being said, there is a silver lining. This doesn't have to be the modern version that we accept. We can ask for other musicians to make their own version. And hell, if you're a musician, I dare you to make a better version of this song. I bet you can. What about you? What did you think about Fall Out Boy's sequel to We Didn't Start the Fire? Do you feel the same way? Am I being too hard on it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I can't keep doing this without your help and support. I hope this helps. I love you all.